Hello and welcome back to Just a Conversation. I'm your host, Montrelle. I want to start by saying I knew this topic was coming because I've been feeling and saying to quite a few people for weeks now is the time to be who we say we are. And so it is. Today, we're diving into something a lot of us face at some point in our journey. What happens when life forces you to play a role you've outgrown? When you've done the inner work, you've transformed, but the world still expects you to be who you used to be. How do you stand firm in your evolution when the world tries to pull you back? Let's talk about it. The frustration of being forced backwards. You've changed. You know it. You feel it. But somehow you find yourself in a space that doesn't reflect who you are now. Maybe it's a job that no longer aligns, or a position on that job you were thrown into. It could be a relationship where you feel unseen, or expectations from family and society that try to box you into a past version of yourself. It can be frustrating because you know you've grown, and yet it feels like you're being asked to step back into shoes that no longer fit. That tension between who you are and where you are can feel suffocating. But why does this happen? Growth gets tested. Every transformation comes with moments where you're faced with the question, are you sure you've changed? Do you believe? Are you who you say you are? Life will sometimes reintroduce past versions of yourself, not to punish you, but to help you fully claim who you've become. And let's be real, other people sometimes struggle with your growth. They may only see you through the lens of who you used to be or who they think you should settle on being. They might even resist your transformation because it forces them to confront their own stagnation. So, what do you do when your evolution is challenged? Being in an environment that doesn't match your evolution can be exhausting. It can make you question yourself, feel restless, upset the nervous system, or you may be made to feel guilty for wanting more. There's a constant pull. Do you shrink back to make others comfortable? Or because man said this is what and who you must be in order to have better or more? Do you pretend to be the old you just to keep the peace? Or do you stand in your truth even when it's uncomfortable and struggle may rise? Society, yes, has a way of dictating who we should be. It pushes outdated expectations, trying to keep us in roles that no longer align with who we've become. But here's the thing, you are allowed to evolve. You're supposed to, even when the world isn't ready to accept it. So, how do we stand firm in that evolution? We start by standing on our faith, trusting the process. Then recognizing the internal shift. You don't have to act like the person you used to be. You're allowed to own your growth. And we set energetic boundaries. Even if your surroundings don't change immediately, you can protect your energy and choose how you show up and interact during this transition. Then reaffirm your new self daily. Speak it, live it. Continue to make choices that align with the version of you that you are becoming, have become. Standing firm means choosing yourself, even when the world expects you to revert to the past. It's okay if not everyone understands. You are not responsible for making others comfortable at the expense of your own growth. Standing on faith, your conviction in your path and growth is what they are meant to witness, to eventually go after it themselves, should they choose growth, should they choose to trust the guidance and faith in what the Holy Spirit has promised them as they evolve. So, when and how do you exit spaces that no longer fit? Not every outdated space requires an immediate exit. Sometimes the lesson is learning to hold your ground for a moment. But how do you know when it's time to walk away? Signs it's time to leave. Maybe if the space is suffocating, if it's limiting, your physical body reacts negatively, or the space is forcing you to abandon your authenticity. If you're being challenged to stand in your truth despite internal pressures, that's a clear lesson that the space no longer fits. Trust that as you move through this phase, new opportunities, environments, and connections will align, even if you can't see it yet. The space for the new is being prepared as you endure and alchemize this process. It is possible that you already know you are in a temporary space, but take this time to honor the pause. I'll leave you with this. You have evolved for a reason in such a time as this. You don't have to live in the past just because life places you in it. Hold your ground, walk boldly in your growth, and trust that the next step is aligning for you. Doors will open to release you into who you have fully become. I want to thank you for connecting with me on this episode of Just a Conversation. Until next time, have the audacity to be authentically you. I'm Montrelle, and this has been Jack.